Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Creating a center midfield Cristiano Ronaldo was not on my bingo card for yesterday's FC25 content, but the surprise evolution that we had is creating a lot of wild cards. So wild, in fact, that it's making center midfielders and midfielders in general on this market crash even further in price. Yesterday also brought a very overpowered cheap beast midfielder SBC and more NumeroFUT cards into packs with yet again another mini release. But today on Thursday is probably not going to be as exciting apart from Rivals rewards and some leaks. That's kind of how Thursdays go. We'll talk about it and talk about what else to expect today on Thursday. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Let's look over all that content that we had yesterday, going straight into the SBC section where we had the cheap beast SBC of the man Matteo Guendouzi. I mean, we knew that he was coming at some point, and we knew that he would also come out with the other number 8s. I was just a little surprised to see it yesterday. Guys, this SBC combination right here, whether you pick the pinged pass or the intercept version, which I think a lot of people are going for the intercept version here, this is a really cheap SBC. It is another fun, cheap midfielder player. Like we've talked about, this guy is always good in game. He just kind of has that Sissoko. That's kind of the closest comparison we have to him. He just has that overpowered aura to him, guys, I'll be honest. Now, between the two versions here, you got one with a little bit better defending and intercept plus, and one has a bit better shooting and passing with pinged pass plus. They're both 4-star, and their playstyles do change a little bit based on the card. Now, personally, I went with the Intercept Plus version. I think that is the clear choice here. I think he's built better in game to be a CM or CDM, especially with the roles that this card has. He's got Holding Plus Plus as a CM and Holding Plus as a CDM. I've actually used him as just a deep lying playmaker. I've been using him alongside Thuram in my team. He's kind of like Thuram. He's kind of like Sissoko. That's kind of the comparison that you make to this guy, right? He's tall. He's got the hair trade. Intercept Plus is very overpowered as somebody who's used Varane for a long time. Of course, he's got the 4-star, which is nice. His stats all across the card are very, very good, and I like his playstyles. Incisive, long ball, tiki-taka, first touch, block, intercept, and anticipate. And you might be like, Nate, he doesn't have relentless like the other card does, but he has 97 stamina on both versions. So if you want this one to play more of a center mid, maybe more box to box, I mean, I think he has box to box plus plus. If you want that type of player, then maybe the ping pass one's a bit better. But this intercept Guendouzi, after using him for just a few games, he's instantly into my team. He's really cheap, he's really fun, and he plays above what you think that card would play for the stats. So I absolutely love that one. I think that's an amazing SBC. I think that also contributed to some of the prices dropping on the market yesterday. Not a lot else to say about that except it's a dub. Now, the other SBC we had yesterday was an 86 plus campaign mixed player pick. I don't think they changed anything about this one from the one that went away. This is now, I think, the 3rd week in a row that they have just re-released the 86 plus campaign mix. It's an 84 and 85 rated squad. Personally, for me, at this point, if it's not a pack that goes into my storage of packs for Team of the Year pack save, I'm not doing a whole lot of these extra SBCs because I know and we know what's coming in this next week. More packs to come out for save for a Team of the Year. So I'm kind of being a little reluctant to spend my fodder on that right now, since the only fodder that I'm getting is coming from the 77 plus player picks that I'm crafting every day from the daily gold upgrades. So I'm really not trying to spend a lot of excess fodder right now because that fodder's going into 82 times 14s and into 77 plus picks, and that's about it, guys, to be completely honest. And I don't want to spend that fodder anywhere else. So I did my 82 14s yesterday. I did Guendouzi because it was a player I knew I was going to do, and that's kind of the SBC content for yesterday. And I don't think there's going to be that much today. But, of course, the daily stuff will be refreshing. Of course, we look forward to that every day. Now, let's talk about the big one, the evolution, whatever, that we had yesterday in this game. 70,000 coins, I think, puts a little bit, of a damper on this because it's a really good evolution, but this can create some pretty crazy cards. I think it's actually worth the 70K. Some of the cards that are coming out of this would be worth that on the market, especially with some of the madness that you can create. Guys, this is the number 8 Evo. It gives Deep Lying Playmaker plus plus. It gives Pinged Pass plus as a playstyle. Has kind of a lot of requirements here. If it had less requirements, it would be way too OP because of these boosts. Look at the stat limits. That's how you know a good Evo from a mid one. Stat limits of 90, 90, 90, 85 on the agility. You get position center mid straight off the bat. You get Bruiser, balance plus 10, up to 85, defending up to 86, plus 2 on the weak foot, basically giving your player a 5-star weak foot, unless they have a 2-star, which would be crazy. They're going to a 5-star weak foot from this. You get incisive pass, pinged pass plus, shooting, physical up to 85, then deep lying playmaker, and the cosmetic upgrade, right? For cosmetic upgrades, they always put a price on the Evo for those. It is a decent number of games to get done. I mean, you're going to have to play a little bit to get this one done. I think it's 10 games. But again, the cards that you can create out of this are wild, right? Of course, you've got Sissoko, who I evolved one time. I can Evo him again. I don't think this is really a worth it Evo for Sissoko personally, because he does get a bit of a pace boost and a shooting boost, but other than that, it's not that big of a boost for him. This is where this Evo kind of goes mad, though. Capdevilla is in my club. If I put this Evo on Capdevilla, yeah, he's a left back, but he also gets center mid with deep lying playmaker plus. All of a sudden, I have a very usable center mid Capdevilla. That's kind of cool. Taking a player who maybe doesn't play in the midfield and giving them this upgrade and this boost can actually make them a usable midfield player. This DePaul is one of the better cards coming out of this. Take a look. If you guys have Van de Boomen, I know the links here are tough, but look at the state of this card. 86 pace, 90 passing, 86 defense, and 85 physical with all the playstyles that he's got. He's already got long ball, so he won't get pinged. Really good card there. There are so many potential cards in this and through this, and chains as well. That's why this Evo is kind of crazy. I mean, this Ronaldo is probably one of the top cards that you're seeing floating around as people are doing this. It gets Ronaldo to 5-star, boosts up the weak foot, of course, gives him a very healthy pace boost, and sure, it doesn't give him playstyles that you really need as a striker, but you can go ahead and play Ronaldo as a center mid. 39 defending and 81 dribbling maybe doesn't cut it as a center mid, but just for the vibes, like, why not? Incisive, flare, trickster, power header, bruiser, Trivela aerial acrobatic, and then he's got the advanced forward plus and deep lying playmaker plus. And also, what this Evo does, and kind of like we looked at with the left back Capdevilla, is it sets you up for the future. You now have a Ronaldo with center mid position, or a Capdevilla, or any other player that's not a center mid base stat or base position. You have that card now with that position to create future Evos off of that could really spark some insane chains. Here's another one. If you're a United fan, this would be on the top of your list. Lisandro Martinez. Put him into this evolution, he becomes a very usable midfielder, and again, upgradable with that center mid position for life on this game. I think that's sick. Now, if you just want to go with a pure straight up center mid option, or this Chouameni, play him at center back, that looks like a really good card right there, even though he just fit into an evolution. Gravenberch, Kamavinga, Matuidi, there's so many cool combinations that come of this. Personally, I'm going to be waiting because of that center mid availability. Maybe there's somebody from Spurs or from the USA men's national team that I'm trying to evolve that I could take from a right back or left back and put them into the midfield. I'm going to wait a bit on this one. You have 2 weeks to unlock it, but it really is a crazy Evo, guys. It is 70,000 coins once again, and usually when we see good Evos that are paid like this, you see a little bit of a market impact. Well, I think that's one of the reasons that cards like this Douglas Luiz tanked yesterday, but also people are creating really crazy midfielders because this is a good Evo. So what are they doing? They're selling their other midfielders. Look at the state of this. This dude went from 100,000 coins and dove off a cliff to 75K where he is right now. Do I expect some of these cards like N'Golo Kante and others to rebound back? Now, I actually picked up some N'Golo Kantes at 200, just right around 269 to 270. I bought like 2 of them because he went from 330 down to 270. I picked him up right here on stream. I'm thinking I'm going to probably try to sell him here at like 290. I think there could be some rebounds, and if you wait long enough, yeah, you'll probably see some cards rebound in the next week or so. But again, in, you know, this pre-team of the year warm-up type period where a lot of people are still trying to figure out teams, we have another week, or at least a half of a week, of this promo of NumeroFUT upcoming, and more packs to save up for Team of the Year. I'm still being careful with my coins, so I'm trying to take the quick flips here. But guys, these price drops. Matuidi from 485 down to 400K. Yeah, he's back up to about 430, 440, so you could have made a little bit there with the flips. But in general, midfielders across all budgets, mostly like 500K and below, midfielders are down bad, just because this is a really fun evolution. So GG's to EA. I like that it also only requires a max of 10 playstyles. So if you're like chaining somebody and you've been building them up, you might still be able to put them into that evolution and get even more playstyles at the moment with some of those requirements being so high, right? Now, other stuff we had yesterday was more midfielders released in packs. The Goretzka and Timber mini release was put out. Kind of expected, right? The number 8s came out with the number 8 Guendouzi. I was just a little surprised that all of that content came on a Wednesday, but it looks like now that we're going to have another team of NumeroFUT players in packs on Friday tomorrow. So I don't think we're just going to be left out to dry with nothing tomorrow. I think there's going to be another team that comes out. Goretzka is the big name card in this. He's 750K right now. Of course, these cards are in rewards today. It's going to be interesting to see. We'll talk about it again in a minute. Interesting to see how these cards move with the rewards supply, how many people will be opening packs. Now, the other big thing of content yesterday was upgrades for FC Pro cards and Thunderstrucks. The FC Pro upgrades just happened a couple of hours ago. Bino Gittins is 89. They gave him Striker. He's now 300,000 coins. What a card. What a freaking card he is right there with those playstyles. Of course, Quickstep Plus. I don't know if this is something that just happened after the new update, because guys, the new update dropped on the game yesterday. We talked about it, the new patch. It dropped in the game yesterday. EA's pretty quick nowadays with when they tweet out an update is coming. Usually it drops almost instantaneously after they drop the notes or the pitch notes and what they're doing to the game, at least in the next day or two. And they dropped it yesterday. I'm seeing a lot more people do the sprint boost. I don't know if that was something a part of the update that made it more overpowered again somehow through the changes that they made. But the sprint boost with Vinny Jr. felt crazy yesterday when it was being used against me. A lot harder to defend. It felt like almost the beginning of the game when the sprint boost was very, very unstoppable. So I don't know if that's something you guys have noticed as well. Let me know in the comments as you are getting your rivals wins in for the rewards today. But this Bino Gittins reminded me of that because he has Quickstep Plus, but he's now 89 rated. Carvalho is 89 rated and still about 70,000 coins. Really, these cards for these two specifically don't have another chance to get upgraded until February. So I'd be a little bit careful with their prices. I'd probably sell high as they are still high for me. I mean, Bino Gittins, that's a card that's kind of worth, I think, that much or close to that much, but does not have 2 playstyle pluses. Same thing with Carvalho. So just be careful with those that just got upgraded. But the same thing could be said for the Thunderstruck upgrades. EA finally dropped these yesterday as well. Reinders most notably going to an 88 rated. And his card yesterday had a bit of a dip, right? He was about 42K. I think I looked right here, right before content. He was 42,000 coins. And then, of course, the Evo came out. He dropped down to 37. He's still 39. That's actually a good showing of demand. If a card on a day where center midfielders are getting really trashed in price, we got a Guendouzi SBC who's in the Serie A like Reinders is, and Reinders is only down and actually kind of went back up 2K. That's a really good sign for him after his upgrade. Maybe you keep holding on to that if you bought it at 30,000 coins. He looks nice. The other icons like Hullet and Jarzinho, they got upgrades as well. So it was nice to finally see those upgrades happen. And other stuff with the market, guys, a lot of stuff to discuss here. Price range downgrades or minimum price downgrades for a lot of cards also happened yesterday. It wasn't just downgrades. There was price range updates for tons of cards across the market. But finally, since like December 20th, I think, this Modric card has been not selling on the market. What's the date? December 21st. He was 44,000 coins, and he's now able to go below that. Yesterday, when this price was updated straight away, we were looking at him on stream, and there was like a bunch of them at 20,000 coins, and I was saying like, yo, if this goes too much further below 20K, I think it's a buy. He didn't go too much further below that, and he started to go back up. He's around 25,000 coins right now, which of course seems pretty cheap for the only special Modric card that we have. I am personally not investing in this, but this is one of those cards that I could see, kind of like we saw with Dalot, rise over time after they were minimum price and then kind of got, hyped up. Maybe Modric fits Evos. I mean, 89 rated. It's going to take a while for him to fit an evolution, but that's just a cheap Madrid Modric card who's very good with technical plus. So low 20K range, like we saw with the winter wild cards who got price range updates, right? Like Rolfo is a great example. They were low for a day or two, and then they started to rise back up. So that could be the same thing you see here with some of these cards that got their price range updates. One of the mistakes actually that EA made with price range updates yesterday was this Dalot card that we talked about was rising a lot in the last couple of days. He was basically 50,000 coins yesterday. And then EA, for some reason, changed his price max to 50K. He got panic sold all the way down to 39. We said on stream 39K was a good buy for him, and he is now rebounding back up. He's probably going to go extinct to 50K because a lot of people are putting him into evolutions. and he's just that good in game. So just watch out for those cards that did get PR updates. Yikres was another one. Like, these cards fluctuate a lot. You can trade with them. And I know that Yikres has another team of the week that is out, but this one looks way better, like way better than the other one. And it's still 95,000 coins. If they come back down, just look at the footbin graphs. These could be okay investments too. Again, I like the cheap stuff. That's the stuff that should be doing the best on the market. Now, speaking of the market, one more time, we got to talk about rewards today, right? Because it's a really interesting scenario. A lot of people are probably saving their packs, but then others are going to see, like, a lot of people just log on to this game, get their rewards, open the packs, and just go from there, right? There are a decent number of cards in packs. I mean, there's more than normal, to be honest, for a regular promo with the mini releases that we've had. I don't think a lot of people are going to open their rewards. I think it's going to be like 50-50. And I don't think that's going to mean as much supply on the market for these NumeroFUT cards. I'm really intrigued to see how the market does today. But if you think about the players that maybe would open their rewards, maybe it is players that would be affording less cards of less value on the market. If they need their rewards, they need their coins and stuff like that, and opening their packs to go and get them, maybe they're going to go upgrade their squad. So we've been saying it, the low tier has been the stuff that's moving the best. I think the cheap stuff's going to move today. Really intrigued by a lot of these cards. I actually just picked up a Kamavinga at 1 mil flat. He's rebounding a little bit. I'm going to sell that before rewards. James Rodriguez, he rebounded really well yesterday. He went from 200 to 233K. He was just 189 as well. I could see these cards having a little dip at rewards. I think there's okay demand for them, though. You could try to trade with these today. Again, maybe focus on the cheaper ones for sure. And for the rest of the market, I'm mostly trading with cheaper cards. I have bought a few more expensive ones. I bought a Sophia Smith yesterday, like this 91 Sophia Smith. As you can see, some of the cards that we saw big panic selling on Monday and on Tuesday on yesterday, some of them kind of went up. Like, I bought her at 630K, 629, and she went up to 680 a couple of different times yesterday. And I noticed on a few other cards too from other Winter Wildcards teams that some of the maybe upper tier cards started to move a little bit. So I'm just wondering, kind of like the Saliba. I bought a Saliba yesterday. I think I mentioned it on the video. I bought him for 970,000 coins on a bid. And his price, actually, I just sold him, I believe. I just sold him right around for 1.067. So I made a decent number of profit there just because I wanted to sell it and get out of it and be safe. But like, the market's still moving. There's still demand. People want to get those packs for Team of the Year to save up. So I think you can absolutely trade today. But again, I think I'm going to focus on the low budget mostly, even though I have bought a few of those more expensive cards like the Smith, the Kamavinga that I just mentioned. And one of my best investments yesterday was Delict for about 134,000 coins. That just seems to me like a card. He's been going up to 150K like every day. He's already up 10K. Hopefully he goes to 150 today. I think the buy window there is kind of already gone, but you kind of get the idea. Surf the market. If you want to trade today, surf the market for out-of-pack special players, less than 250,000 coins, maybe like this Savinho type player, maybe some Thunderstruck items, just those popular cards people want to use in that less than 250K range. That feels the safest to me today. I don't think it's going to be a crazy market rise. I just think you'll see a little bit of a jump, and that'll be good to go. Now, there is a part of the market that I'm very interested in, and it's because we have a lot of SBCs still that are going to be refreshing, namely the 82x14 and the Icon Pack, with not a whole lot of content being out right now, besides that Icon Pack being the biggest SBC a lot of people want. I think today could be a really good day to pick up some fodder. Now remember, these cards are up. Take a look at 88s, right? How low were these last Thursday? 7K. What are they now? They're 9.6, but they were 11 yesterday. And with the refresh of the icon, which is what made these cards go up the most anyway, if you see these cards drop like maybe 1,000 coins would be a good baseline number. I don't think 88s are going to go to like 8.5K, but if they go under 9K, I would hop on some bids. I would hop on some bids for 85s, 86s, and 87s as well, and 84s. If you can get 84s, this is a really good investment opportunity now and throughout this weekend. 84s for next week will be really good to invest. I hope at some point this weekend they go back down to like 1.4 to 1.5K, at least under 2,000 coins. But we can see 84s like we saw in the lead up to Black Friday. They were like 3K. No, they're like 2.5K. I could see 84s being 2.5 to 3,000 coins next week with some of the Team of the Year warm-up packs that we get. So I wanted to shout that out too. And I'm going to say it, high-rated fodder. I think high-rated fodder, the closer that we get now to the team of the year, it's been on the downtrend all year long. It kind of bottomed out last week. I don't know, man. I think high-rated fodder, if we're going to get exchanges, if we get exchanges, then 89s are going to go up. That's going to push 90s up. That's going to push 91s up. It's going to be kind of a domino effect. And if we have leaks of big icon SBCs, which there was a tweet yesterday reminding us of last year, and a lot of people are comparing this year's game to last year and how the icon SBCs are not as good, which is 100% true. But last year in Team of the Year warm-up, EA dropped Cafu, Thierry Henry, and Zico, base icon SBCs during that time. All of those players, before Team of the Year even started, to try to drain coins out of people's clubs and drain fodder out of people's clubs before Team of the Year. EA like to do that a lot. Now, we haven't seen them do that specifically with icon SBCs this year, but I think during Team of the Year, even though there's going to be a lot of packs opened, I gotta imagine EA's going to drop some big SBCs, man. So it really is going to depend on the leaks. If we have huge leaks that say big players are going to be coming, then you're going to see fodder explode. But that's really all that it depends on. Or exchanges. Exchanges would make high-rated fodder explode too. But guys, honestly, this is probably one of the last chances to get on a high-rated fodder. The only thing that would make it go lower is if we don't get any leaks about anything massive for SBCs or really for SBCs or exchanges until we get to the actual Team of the Year pack openings next Friday. I just think between now and then, there's going to be some leaks. I think this is the time. If you want to buy fodder, I think this is the time you do it. 89s and above, I think it is the time. So that's that. I want to discuss that today because I know a lot of you guys have been waiting, and I think, you know what, it's just the gut feeling that I've got. Informs, if we talk about informs for a quick second too, people were getting sales yesterday at 17 to 18,000 coins. Today's the last day for the refresh of the 8214. Yes, it is the last day for that. EA could bring it back. This is kind of the game you're playing with informs. You sell informs today, which is the no risk method, and you're out. You made your coins, which was great coins this week. They went from 12K. You're probably selling for 16, 17, 18,000 coins. That's awesome for a 1 week trade on Team of the Weeks. You're either taking your money today, no risk, or you're going to hold the ones that you still bought at 12K, hoping that they don't go back down to 12K and they go higher next week. What I would do is take the money today and then rebuy later this weekend with Weekend League rewards, because a lot of people will probably not save their Team of the Week packs from the Weekend League rewards and would probably supply informs a bit. So personally, I would sell your informs today with the 8214 refresh and then look to invest again this weekend because they'll probably go up more next week in the lead up to Team of the Year with Team of the Year warm-up, which is again all about SBCs and all about packs that we can save up. So that's kind of the inform and fodder situation. I wanted to talk about that at length today because I really think there's potential for profits there. Now, last thing, what else is coming out today on Thursday? Guys, besides maybe some leaks, I do believe, by the way, this is just kind of to preface what I'm expecting to see today. What do we get every single Thursday, guys? We get leaks for the next promo team that is coming out. It seems like these guys that have the leaks like to wait until then so that they can invest, right? They can invest in the players that are going to be going out of packs. That's been a common theme that we've seen for a long time. I do think we will have leaks for a Team 2 of NumeroFUT because I went back and looked, and I believe when EA tweeted out Team 1 of NumeroFUT, they included the words Team 1. Like sometimes when they don't say Team 1, you know, we're like, okay, is this a 1 or 2 week promo? They had Team 1 on the graphic and in the tweet verbiage. So I do believe that we will have a Team 2 of NumeroFUT. So watch out for those leaks today. That could make some more cards move. So that's one thing I would watch out for because Thursdays are usually pretty big leak and information days. Like we said, the refresh of the icon SBC is probably the biggest piece of content today with the 82x14. Marquee matchups will be dropping today too. I don't expect an Evo. Evos are pretty quiet usually on Thursdays. The only thing that's expiring today that I just noticed is League One Player of the Month. I don't know if there's been a vote. I haven't stayed up to date on that. The biggest Player of the Month is tomorrow. The Salah goes away. I think another one joins. Watch out for Player of the Month Salah getting another card. More leaks about that as well if you're somebody who'd be interested in that. Hopefully they do a juice on that new Player of the Month Salah. We'll have to see. But yeah, other than that, the only real thing today would be SP. There should be the weekly refreshes of SP. Ooh, 100 squad battle wins. Look at me getting a milestone pitch trophy there. Wara pitch trophy for me. That's really, guys, That's an example of how the content's going to be today. It's a Thursday, right before the last couple days, the last weekend before Team of the Year gets here. I don't expect it to be that wild of a day in terms of the content that we get. So that's why I'm taking a look at the market, making some flips on the low tier. And we'll see what Division Rivals Rewards does to this game today. We'll see what the market does. And we'll see what the leaks say, man. All right, that's the video for me today, guys. Have a great Thursday. I will see you guys in the stream today. We'll be getting our FUT Champs qualifier games played and done. We'll open our Rivals player picks and the guaranteed players. We get the Season 2 and 3 review packs from Division 3 rewards. I know that I'm so close to Division 2, and you're like, Nate, play 2 more games. I can't be asked, I'll be honest. Yeah, I'm going to get the Season 2 and 3 reward pack today. We're going to open that, so we'll open part of our rewards today on stream. That should be a fun time, and we'll, of course, look and see what else we get. But if you enjoyed the video today, drop a thumbs up on it, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. One day closer to Team of the Year. That's describing where we're at right now in this game. I will see you guys on the stream today and a video tomorrow. It's been Nate, TheFutAccountant. Have a great Thursday. Peace out.